Hello first-time viewers and fans of Urban Sound Station Television. I am Wayne Gamillion, the executive producer of Urban Sound Station Television. Over the years, Urban Sound Station TV has entertained its viewers with many great music videos, week after week, and we will continue to do so. Urban Sound Station Television has also decided to diversify its activities and strengthen its content. In order to achieve this goal, Urban Sound Station Television will produce a wide variety of program segments. Urban Sound Station Television will present more interviews with local, national, and international celebrities in sports as well as in the performing arts. Urban Sound Station Television will also conduct interviews and engage in roundtable discussions with business leaders, entrepreneurs, political activists, social activists, and politicians. Urban Sound Station TV will also keep our viewers informed of cultural events happening locally and taking place elsewhere. Urban Sound Station Television believes that its new mission is the right way to go, and that is keeping with the moral and social responsibility of Urban Sound Station Television.
Of the United States.
Starts with the obvious. Built on oppression, depression, submission, religion. Slaves locked up in chains. Destruction, construction. Set structure for some, but none for others. So we think much has changed? Kids in school can't learn because they look out for gangs. People wake up because we still in chains. We oppress each other with fear instead of teach each other with praise. You know what that is? New age slaves.
Today is October 10th, 2011. Today is the day of the Columbus Day Parade, but there are not too many people at the parade. Everybody seems to be assembling here at the Occupy Wall Street movement here at downtown Manhattan. There are thousands of people who are here today. Many of them came from various states, from various countries. When I was here 2 days ago, the crowd was large, but today it's even larger. The police presence is also larger. 2 days ago, we did not see too many mainstream news people here, but today there are many vehicles representing the various mainstream television stations. There are also many reporters here today. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to find out. We're going to continue to interview as many people as we possibly can. And we hope we'll get varying opinions with regard to what the movement is all about and what it means to them. We're going to walk through the crowd. Actually, the music continues. Since the inception of the movement, the music has been playing. The drummers have been drumming. The trumpeters have been playing. People are dancing. There's also a very festive mood here. While at the same time, there's some very serious and important issues that are being discussed here also. Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
All right, how's the literature? Okay, that's quite all right. Okay, so how are things going? So what are you doing today?
Just trying to get some ideas out there. This space is all about creating a conversation.
Right.
And so we have a number of different titles and pamphlets about different ideas about a new world that we want to see. And so we're trying to get that out there.
Could you tell me a little bit about it?
We're anarchists. This space, Occupied Wall Street, we've been here since September 17th. It's organized in an anarchist manner. We're not all anarchists here, but the way we're making decisions and the way we're organizing is anarchist. And so we have this pamphlet here which explains how we organize, how we make decisions, how we use the consensus process. And so we're trying to get that out there. Even if people don't want to do away with all government, which we're obviously advocates of, I think these ideas are very much relevant to what's going on here.
Okay, well let me ask you, I think I wrote some questions down. I think some of it probably apply to what you're talking about. Let me see here. The Occupy Wall Street movement is speaking about the inherent social and economic inequalities that are prevalent in the capitalist system. Does the movement want to see more social and economic reforms or a total transformation of the capitalist system as we know it today?
Personally, I'm here for total transformation.
Total transformation, and how is this going to occur?
I think what you see here is a microcosm of the kind of world we want to create. I'm not sure how we're going to get there. I think a lot of people here have a lot of different ideas about that, and I think that's one of our strengths, is that we have a lot of different ideas and we're coming from a lot of different places. They're all different kinds of people here, and I think that makes us powerful.
And if transformation does take place, will the profit-making incentive remain a central feature in the new world that you want to create?
I don't believe that we need to have a world that's driven by profits or individual gain. I believe that there's enough for everyone, and you know, I say that, but I'm not a communist. I'm not for, you know, some communist state or anything like that. But I don't believe that greed needs to be the primary motive for driving society. I think that leads to inequality.
Let me ask you an interesting question. Can order come out of anarchy?
Absolutely. I mean, look at this space. Like I said, we organize anarchistically, and yet there is quite a bit of order. If you look around, I have in my back pocket a map of the space. We have a library over here. We have an info table right here. There's a lost and found, media, info desk, a kitchen. The kitchen is serving a meals all day long. You know, they're open till like 12 or 2 a.m. at night. And that's for everyone. Anyone who gets in line, who goes over there, gets something to eat.
How long have you been here?
Since the 17th.
Since the 17th of September.
That's right.
I see. And how long do you plan to stay?
As long as it takes.
Okay. When the winter sets in?
What's that?
When the winter comes, I'm going to have to bring you a blanket?
I'll be here.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the interview. Thank you. Good.
We've got to do something about this arbitrary police power, something about this stop and frisk, precisely because these young brothers and sisters, disproportionately black and brown, 700,000 stop and frisk, 4% arrested, 83% of them black and brown, between 16 years old and 26 years old.
Hello first-time viewers and fans of Urban Sound Station Television. I am Wayne Gamillion, the executive producer of Urban Sound Station Television. Over the years, Urban Sound Station TV has entertained its viewers with many great music videos, week after week, and we will continue to do so. Urban Sound Station Television has also decided to diversify its activities and strengthen its content. In order to achieve this goal, Urban Sound Station Television will produce a wide variety of program segments. Urban Sound Station Television will present more interviews with local, national, and international celebrities in sports as well as in the performing arts. Urban Sound Station Television will also conduct interviews and engage in roundtable discussions with business leaders, entrepreneurs, political activists, social activists, and politicians. Urban Sound Station TV will also keep our viewers informed of cultural events happening locally and taking place elsewhere. Urban Sound Station Television believes that its new mission is the right way to go, and that is keeping with the moral and social responsibility of Urban Sound Station Television.
Okay, young man, I see your sign. I saw it from across the street. I found it interesting. What are you saying?
All right, well, basically, if you look at Fox News, or really any of the major media corporations' news on this protest, they are completely denying its credibility because, frankly, they're searching for their own ulterior motives. They're looking out for themselves. This protest is incredible. It is magical almost. And frankly, they just are saying still we're just a bunch of dumb kids, you know? And that's just ridiculous because we're not. We're all people of different ages, different backgrounds. but we know that something is wrong. And if they're not representing that shared knowledge, then they're not doing their job. They're not doing any justice as the media.
So there are two issues here. One, they are doing a kind of superficial coverage, and number two, they are not doing enough coverage.
It's not that they're not doing enough coverage, it's just that they're spinning it. You know, they're spinning this protest because they know they can make it look however they want, you know? They're taking clips of people they think sound dumb and they're putting it on the air and they're making it a laughing, a prospect of laughter. And it's just ridiculous because people here are so devoted and so dedicated that they deserve to be represented fairly and truthfully.
Well, you have an opportunity to tell Fox, a news station, what you really think. Let them know why you are here.
All right, well, frankly, Fox, I mean, you know, I understand exactly why you're doing what you are doing, but it's ridiculous, it's wrong, no one agrees with you, and for every person you brainwash, there are at least 100 people who know the truth. So, you know, open your eyes, America, open your eyes.
What do you want to see, what do you want to achieve within the movement? Occupy Wall Street. What do you want to achieve?
Well, fundamentally, I think what we need above anything else is a reform in campaign finance and politics. That's something that we can all agree on. You know, these corporations have their tentacles embedded in our political system, and they exist for their own profit, so they should not be representing the people. They should not be allowed to have that kind of voice. We should have that kind of voice, and frankly, here it is, you know? So I think campaign finance reform is a key prospect. You know, if you get the money out of politics, then politics can be real again.
You think this movement is going to spread nationally?
It already is. They have it in LA, they have it in Philadelphia, they have it in all kinds of cities, even smaller cities. They have an Occupy Flagstaff, Arizona. It's everywhere.
You think it's going to also spread globally?
Well, I mean, a lot of other countries have similar problems to us because we've exerted this influence over the world, you know, make them think how we think. So yes, I think that if people in the other countries realize that that things are not going right, then I think they'll stand up just like we have.
So who represents the new world order? Is it the 99% or the 1%?
It's the 99%.
99%.
Yeah, it's us. It's not them. You know, like it or not, their generation's gonna fade eventually, and no one can take over except for us. And we're gonna do it justice this time. You know, we're gonna fix it.
Well, there's a lot of social inequities in the society. There's still a lot of racial polarization in spite of the election of President Obama. How does the movement? Is this part of the conversation within the movement?
Well, it definitely should be. I mean, the fact that some people are using how they feel that President Obama has failed them for whatever reason, and insinuating, you know, racist notions from that's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with race. It has to do with the fact that the guy can't get anything done because of you know, the corporate policies. He's trying, he just can't, you know. And anyone who thinks that is a matter of his race, background, or Islamicness, which is not the case, you know.
Some people are saying that the Tea Party is an anti-democratic party. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Some people say that the Tea Party, you know, that conservative wing of the Republican Party,
Right.
that is an anti-democratic movement. What do you think about it? They said it's fascist, totalitarianism.
I don't think it's fascism. I just think those people are grossly misinformed. You know, I mean, if things go their way, if they got what they want to accomplish done, then they wouldn't benefit from it. You know, it would still be the 1% benefiting from it. And it's just a case of brainwashing with the Tea Party, in my opinion. You know, you've convinced these people to believe something that will help you as part of the 1%, and they got your back. Because you make it really comfortable. Corporations are comfortable, you know, we can find comfort in them because they provide us with things. But the fact is, they're looking out for their own interests, and they're not going to help us.
So the 99% is willing and ready to absorb the Tea Party and re-educate them.
Yes, I think the best thing you can do with the Tea Party is just tell them what's up. Just explain it in simple language, and, you know, if they don't understand it, then they're really not using logic. It's just common sense, you know? It's just
So are you a student or are you
I'm a student at Fordham University in the Bronx.
What are you majoring in?
Philosophy, actually.
Philosophy?
Yeah.
So you're the guy that tried to decipher Condorcet, Descartes, and Hume, All of these other guys.
That's a little modern from what I'm doing. I'm still in with, Plato and
Plato
Aristotle.
Republic, right?
But yeah. The thing is, what I think we should do here is have a conference like Plato's Republic, where you decide how you would run a society if you had the choice. That's what they did, and it was kind of the basis for modern.
But Plato's Republic, at least theoretically, talks about an egalitarian state, a perfect society.
Yeah.
Is America as a democratic society? Is it truly democratic? Some people say that democracy in America is a cliche for the dictatorship of the ruling class.
That's it. I mean, yeah, that's as well as you can phrase it. The fact is, you look at things like the Electoral College. What is that? The Electoral College just makes it so all of a sudden it's not actual democracy. It's some people interpreting your democracy and processing it and making it smaller numbers, Face it, Gore would have won if it was the popular vote, but he didn't because of an arbitrary system that makes no sense.
So what you're saying, democracy in America is still a work in progress?
Oh yeah, it's still work in progress, and all you can say is you hope you figure it out someday, but it's not there yet. That's for sure.
And as a work in progress, there is still an American foreign policy that is being formulated by the American government. Since democracy is a work in progress, do you think that America should be around the world spreading democracy?
Oh no! I mean, the fact is, with that, it's not our business. Like, that's just another common sense thing. No, it's not our business to force our beliefs on other people. People should be allowed to have their own goddamn cultures. But the fact is, we just want to wash everything with our little Hollywood sheen and just make it something we can relate to. But the fact is, that's not how the world is, and that's not how the world will ever be. We can try, but we're going to fail. We're just going to piss everyone off.
Do you see a third political party coming out of the Occupy Wall Street movement?
That would be great. I certainly hope so, and I hope that one of the things that they advocate most for is reform of campaign finance. Because if you got that, then you can actually make some differences. But as long as you have the corporations acting as the behind the scenes voices of the politicians, you're not going to get anywhere. But yes, I can see a third party coming from this, and I think that it would be just the realest party ever. Just.
So to put it in a nutshell, you really want to see some real, serious, concrete reforms take place within the system, socially, economically, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the fact is, all these people, they want different things, but they want, the main point is that they're not satisfied with the status quo. And you can bash them for not having a leader or a clear-cut message, but the fact is, it doesn't matter. They just want things to change, and they deserve to have things change for them.
Do you think if there was a clear-cut leadership, you think that the mainstream media would be more prone to cover what's going on here?
I mean, I think if there was a leader at this point, what would end up happening is he'd just sell out eventually. He'd just sell out, and it would, because he needs to get more money, he needs sponsorships, and then you're part of the corporate machine right there. There you go. But
so the movement is working diligently, very hard, and not to allow itself to be co-opted by corporate America.
Well, I mean, yeah, no corporations are touching this place, that is for sure. I mean, but I mean, you can only go so far in avoiding corporations at this point. A lot of people in a lot of places in the country, not New York City luckily, but they don't have a choice besides to shop at corporations, They literally don't have any other way to get things that they need, food, medical supplies, whatever, even the basics. They have to buy from corporations because all that's in their town is a giant Walmart,
I see. Well, this is wonderful. How long have you been here? How long have you been down here?
Well, today I just got here a few hours ago. I was here on Saturday too, all day, and I mean, I'm gonna every extra moment I have, I'm gonna put it in here.
All right, thank you very much, and good luck. Okay, thank you. Good.
It's really nice talking to you.
You too. Why are you here?
I'm with the press.
You're with the press. Which press are you with?
Retirement Income Journal.
I see. What do you think about what's happening here today?
Well, I think it's about time, really.
Don't you think the press needs to be interviewed by the press also sometimes?
That the press needs to be interviewed by the press? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But really, the spirit of this is right on. Things have really gone a little bit too far, and if they go too much farther, it's going to be irrecoverable.
I came here a couple of days ago and I didn't see too much press coverage from the traditional media. Why do you think that is so? Today I see an increase. But why, we're still not getting the kind of coverage we need to get on the more established stations? Why is this so?
It's because this is not a market-moving event. If it becomes a market-moving event, you'll hear much more. If someone stands up and says, if someone influential stands up and says, the market won't recover till we get these people out of this park, then you're going to see some conflict. You're going to see some coverage.
So actually, mainstream media is not really concerned with what's going on here. They want to see tension, conflict.
Well, the demonstration hasn't had any bottom line conflict. It hasn't had any bottom line impact. Like I'm saying, if this is seen to move the market, the bond market, if it's perceived to influence the national mood, you'll get more coverage. But right now it's a very isolated phenomenon. Well, it's happening in a lot of different places.
How do you think it can break out of that isolation?
Well, very simple. If you had a spokesman like George Soros or someone drop in here and say, I'm backing these people, and or you had, if you had a spokesman, if you had someone very visible stand up in the financial industry and say, I agree with these folks, then, or Warren Buffett has said a few things, then you might see. But as far as I can tell, there's no big name sponsor here right now. That could change, but not so far.
You think that's what this movement really is after? Big name sponsored? Don't you think that's what they're trying to get away from?
To tell you the truth, it looks like they're trying to just let off a little bit of steam. And some of the older people are reliving 1969.
I see. So this is like a nostalgic experience.
It's a little bit. Can you smell the incense?
I smell the incense. I smell other things as well.
There's a lot of young people here, though.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have to approach you. Why are you here today?
Well, I work on Wall Street.
You work on Wall
And I'm
Street.
trying to understand what's going on, and the best that I think it's terrific, because great ideas come from younger people. I remember marching against the Vietnam War. This is a different feeling, but my sense is that they're about social justice. And the great disparity between those who have and those who don't, which, as you know, has been widening, particularly under the Bush administration.
So it's clear to you that there's some legitimate issues here that are being articulated.
They're real issues. I mean, if you think about what's in the national debate, an investigation of Planned Parenthood, Mississippi trying to pass a law saying that birth starts, at conception. That's not the issue today. The issue today is income inequality and trying to get this economy going again. And the holding hostage by certain politicians of the Republic to advance their own ideological agenda. It's terrible.
And so you think this movement is going to grow? Is going to mushroom into
I don't know.
something national?
Is it a movement? I don't know. It's an expression.
It is an expression.
A movement suggests that there's a head and there's an agenda and there are goals.
And it's very difficult for you to see that centralized entity that runs the movement.
What I'd love to see is a progressive counterpart to the Tea Party stuff from '09, and now have a 2011 progressive counterpart which would emphasize social equality and social justice and racial tolerance and that.
So
whether that happens, who knows?
You told me that you work on Wall Street.
Yeah, I do.
And you work for one of the corporations, I take it.
That's right, yeah. I'm an investment advisor. I handle my clients' portfolios and I try to manage the money for them.
Speaking out like this, do you think that you might lose your job? Are you afraid of that?
Well, I'm not afraid of ideas, and if they're afraid of ideas, then I want to work someplace else.
Well, they say we live in a democratic society. Do we have that true democratic right to express what we really think, even if we work for the corporation?
Well, I don't think it would be fair to say anything counter to the corporation, but to the extent that there's social injustice, then you don't have a society that is healthy. And the corporation would want a healthy society.
And the corporate establishment is what's being blamed today for a lot of the social injustices we have in the society.
Yeah, I think that's a bit unfair. I would place greater blame on the political dysfunctionality in the country and the aggressive use of political ideology during the first decade of this century.
So what did you think about the bailout by the Obama administration?
It had to be. It had to be because it was a systemic risk, and if that hadn't happened, we'd be in much worse shape now.
What do you think that President Obama's chances of being reelected? Do you think his chances are good?
To the extent that finally he's passionate and standing for something and is standing up to the intolerance on the other side, I think that's helpful. The biggest thing going for him is that he's going to run against one of 8 gnomes. So that's the biggest thing going for him.
I mean, some people are beginning to look at the Tea Party and the traditional Republicans as a kind of political terrorists. They think that they are out to destroy the basic fabric of American society by not supporting the things that Obama is trying to push through for the 99%. Healthcare, jobs bill.
Well, put it this way. If you're in a democracy, right, you compromise. And there's a vote, and you don't always get your way. But the folks on the right seem to always want their way, regardless of what the rest of us want. And that, to me, is the real danger.
And so when you have an uncompromising situation,
you can't govern.
And nothing is accomplished.
No, I mean, if you're elected to a position, you can't govern. You obviously have a job, you're a reporter. Well, if you came here and didn't report, you're not doing your job. You elect people to govern, and they're not governing. They're simply using it as a wedge to advance their own ideology. So I think that's weird. I also think, unfortunately, that there are a lot of people who simply can't accept the notion that a person of color is president of the United States. I just think they refuse to accept it. We got to get over it.
Why is that so? In spite of the fact that he was elected.
Well, in spite of the fact that he grew up in a Caucasian culture. I mean, he's biracial.
He's not American.
He's biracial.
Why do you think they're those the birthers who say he's not American? Do you know where John McCain was born?
He was born on the Panama Canal.
The Canal Zone, that's right. He was not born in America.
Is he a citizen of the United States?
He got a special dispensation because his father was a U.S. Navy admiral. But all those who say Obama is not American have no idea that John McCain was not born in America, and they couldn't care less, and it's obvious why.
But Obama was elected by, not just by one group of people.
Right.
He was elected by black, white, from people from all different walks of life, different religious persuasions, etc., and so on, and things like this. So we have a minority.